Qatar FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifying action. South Sudan against Tunisia. Jump ball tipped by South Sudan. They control the opening possession. It is Makai. Goes to Omot along the baseline. A good start for South Sudan. Then they cleared the side for Omot to try and attack. And he was able to get all the way to the basket. Interesting, it's going to be Ben Ramdan guarded by Deng Aguth. He's going to have to step out, guard that three-point line. And then now switching defense as Abada goes to the inside. Here is Ben Ramdan. They double him. The cut comes, but the finish bounces clear for Tunisia on that occasion. Good offense for them. No points, though, as Akoy gets to the inside. And he gets the finish in favour of South Sudan. They jump out to a 4-point lead then. Great work from the young point guard from South Sudan. As good ball movement for Tunisia. They're going to turn it over. Kwani starts the break. Omot slides in. Finish doesn't go. Up and down game in this first couple of minutes. Tunisia through Abada. Can't get the finish. Offensive rebound finally put home. And it is Chinufbi with the finish for Tunisia there to get them on the board. Well, this up and down game perhaps favours South Sudan. They've got a deep bench. A lot of guys that can come in. Here is Kwani. He was the lead guy yesterday. Throws it to Omot. Omot shoots over the top of Ben Ramdan. Misses the jumper. And now Tunisia coming the other way. Abada. Slow, methodical. Gives it to Ben Ramdan. He attacks, but it's wiped away. Good rejection. And South Sudan pushing quickly. Opposite direction. Jock moves it to Omot. Omot puts it on the floor. His pass taken away. Ben Ramdan slides in. Doesn't get the finish. And once more, it's Chinufbi on the offensive glass. That has been the offense for Tunisia. So good work from Chinufbi there. Turning the defense into offense. McGoy to the inside. Loose pass tipped as he was looking for Deng Aguth. And it is inline possession for South Sudan. There we see great rejection from Kwani. The offensive rebounding working for Tunisia. Zone defense from Tunisia. You've got to guard that man. Peter Jock is a sharp shooter, as he shows there. Jock playing currently in France, where he is 45% for three. Played his college basketball at the University of Iowa. That is his game, as Ben Ramdan trying to step out against Aguth. This is going to be the difficult matchup for South Sudan, as Ben Ramdan creates off the dribble. And the finish comes from Gayaza. South Sudan now will use the screen. Magoy over to Omot. Omot has this side all cleared out for him. He finds Aguth. Aguth taken away. Here comes Tunisia. Oh, nice drive. Finish doesn't go. And swiftly the other way. Oh, we said the advantage on the inside, perhaps, towards South Sudan. They've got to make sure they look after their rebounding. As Tunisia have been able to get a number of second chance opportunities already in this one. Comes in from the side. Here is Kwani. Over to Jock. Peter Jock trying to find some room. Back to Kwani now. He'll use the high screen. Omot pops to the top. Kwani's going to try and go one-on-one. Rejected by Ben Ramdan. Shot clock getting low. McCoy trying to find some room. And again, Ben Ramdan just takes it away. All the way. The dunk doesn't go. And South Sudan will head in the opposite direction. Up and down game as Jock gets a clean look. Oh, bounces out for him, but he's going to get his own offensive rebound. And now good ball movement from South Sudan. Aguth with the reverse is good. Great energy from South Sudan, swarming both offensively and defensively there. They deserve this 3-point lead here, 6-9. Abada now holding and waiting. Good pass out from him. The three, nothing but string from Tunisia. Shanufi, who has had a strong start to this one, he has 7 of the 9 for Tunisia. Kwani, deflected pass, gives it back to Tunisia. It is Abada. Abada uses the early screen, gets deep into the lane. This is what he does, Omar Abada, just finds a way. He isn't the quickest point guard that we're going to see through World Cup qualification, but what he is able to do is plays like this, where he just gets himself to the inside. And earns a trip to the line. So Abada really is growing as a player. The 28-year-old. He said he was an all-star member at AfroBasket 2021. Is the current member of the first team in the Basketball Africa League as well. As he makes from the line to give Tunisia the advantage. Omot. McCoy, now Kwani, as this zone continues from Tunisia. Do have shooters, South Sudan. You have guys that can unlock it as McCoy goes behind his back. Omot is one of those guys, and he rattles home the 3. Just in time for the shot clock buzzer. The 3 is good from Omot, the lead back to South Sudan. Shanufi has it taken away. Omot with the steal. 4-on-2 now. Can they capitalize? Nearly turned over. Kwani, all slow. Now uses that high screen. Trying to find somebody. Gets it over to Jock. Jock manages hold on to the ball. Now Kwani again, 4 on the clock. Can he find that room? He gets it to Omot once again. Similar spot, but this time he can't get the finish. South Sudan will get the offensive rebound, and now Omot had a little space. Akuth, foul line jump shot is good. Deng Akuth, smooth looking stroke from the big man. You just feel a little bit scrappy from both teams at the moment, but that perhaps favours South Sudan. Into the hands of Abada. He's trying to make some room. Deep into the paint, he scores, and he is fouled. So the foul will go against McCoy, who didn't like the call. Abada at the line for the bonus point. Sorry, that's just the first of McCoy, so not the second. Pressure from Tunisia. South Sudan break it. And now that 2-3 zone once again. McCoy organising. Finds Kwani on this near side. Gets it back again. Now Akuth. Hands it off to Jock. Loose pass from Peter Jock. Goes sailing out of bounds. High five between him and Akuth. You see some of the highlights. The 3 from Omot. That is Tunisian possession, trailing by 1 here. It's Ben Ramdan putting it on the floor. Has it tipped away. Here comes Kwani. Oh, Jock. Jock gives it up. McCoy off the screen. McCoy into the lane. Can he make the play? He gets it to Omot wide open. Omot falls to the floor but makes his second 3 of the game. The third 3 from South Sudan here in the first 7.5 minutes. Abada trying to find some room. Good defense as the ball is moved on, and it was going to be an open 3 for Al Maruk. He had a foot out of bounds. 3-point shooting is the difference right now. Tunisia struggled from beyond the 3-point line yesterday. As Omot shows them how to do it. Making that one. Kwani on the rebound, puts it home. So South Sudan winning these energy points right now. 4-point lead. Penaramdan gives it up to Abada. Foul line jump shot wide open for him, but it doesn't go. South Sudan fight each other for the rebound. Possession goes out. And back to Tunisia. A couple of substitutions come in. As Ganawi moves it on, open three, misses badly. And now South Sudan can control as they've got a number of subs coming on the bench for them as well. Looks like a 5 in, 5 out. Now McCoy loses his man. Nice little pass to Akuth. He moves it on. Peter Chalk trying to find some room for this jumper. Comes up short. And goes to Tunisia to run the floor. Controlling the tempo then is Ganawi. And a foul called against Jock on that far side. Jock takes a seat. There's wholesale changes. You can see him coming in for South Sudan. El Mubarak, he is the sharpshooter for this Tunisian team. Knocks it down for them. So South Sudan have got Bar, Bilay, Gekuth, Mao and Wang on the floor for them right now. Wholesale 5. Change from just a second ago. Here is Bilal. Nice pass to the inside and the finish is good for Bar. The strength and depth of South Sudan being shown here. Last 30 seconds of this first quarter. Pressure up the floor. Tunisia trying to get into their action. Sadidane pressured out in the backcourt. Shot clock down to 7. Gonna have to go quickly. And a foul is called. And now his penetration. Just trying to make something happen in those last few seconds. A reach in. You got to say, you know, that Wang's foul is a costly one for South Sudan there. 6-point lead. It was going to be a tough finish for Ganawi against all the traffic. Now he gets 2 shots from the line. Similar story to yesterday, really, for Tunisia as Coach Deng looks on. 16 points for them in this first quarter, 3 of them from the line. Again 4. And now last shot of this first quarter for South Sudan. Can they execute? Where will they go for the offense? Wang is going to have to go on his own. The play broke down off the side of the backboard. So disorganization there for South Sudan, and we will end this first quarter. They still love to change that. Man who has led this resurgence, led the emergence of the South Sudan national team. Help them qualify for AfroBasket. Now, can he help them qualify for the FIBA World Cup? Back to action in the second quarter. It's the same 5 for South Sudan then. As low post for Haridani, kicks it out. And another turnover. Oh, given straight back though. And the easy finish. Good work there from Chihi, who committed the turnover but stayed with it. Was able to regain possession for his team and gets the easy score. Whistle gone, foul away from the ball. Looks like the foul is against South Sudan. It's Ile called for an unsportsmanlike foul. 2 shots and possession. He tries to get clarification of what that was for. It is Tunisia, 2 shots. First is missed. As is the second. Well, let's have another look. Watch the top pitch. Oh, just a raise of the arm, wasn't it? Just kind of caught him in the face. Not sure it was intentional. Tunisian possession, chance to take the lead. The 3. Al-Marouk doesn't go. Offensive rebound for Tunisia. Moved the ball swiftly back to Al-Marouk. Now he'll come off it. Oh, nice pass. Good ball movement from the Tunisian. Salidani, who's a capable shooter. Doesn't get that one to go. But another offensive rebound. 3rd possession now for Tunisia. Can they capitalize here? Al-Marouk sells the fake. Takes the jumper. Doesn't go again. And eventually South Sudan snatching the rebound. Near travel against Kakuth. And then the finish is good. Down the middle. Wang out of nowhere explodes to the basket. Little smile perhaps from him. He liked that one. Where did this come from? Hardly an opening. Wang explodes down the lane. That's going to get South Sudan fired up. Can he add the bonus? He does. Here's 5-point lead for South Sudan. Abada back into the game, gets himself to the free throw line. So Abada needed to come back into the game for his team then. 4 points for him in the early stages. Misses the free throw. 2 of 4. He is from the line, Omar Abada. He had an outstanding game from the stripe yesterday. Mentioned it was a low-scoring game. Abada, 25 points. He was 13 for 18. Makes the second. South Sudan continue to lead here in Dakar. As a turnover, gives it back. Abada has it rejected. Oh, a foul is called. Foul is called against South Sudan, so Abada will be back to the line. Wow. You got to say, it wasn't much contact on that one. I would argue the kind of boxing out from El-Mabruk under the basket was more of a foul than the shot attempt. But either way, Abada back to the line. I said, South Sudan have been good for their lead. Tunisia had the early advantage. They led by 1, and they've only led for 24 seconds in this one. Nuniomot back. As South Sudan rotating their team. Amot has 8. Abada still struggling from the line. And this is another one. So Omar Abada, 5 points, 3 of 6. Now, as you see the call from Baumann, expect the 2-2-1 pressure. Back to the 2-3 zone here from the free throw. Abada manages to get the roll. Seen a few teams struggle to shoot it from the free throw line here in Dakar. It is 2-3 zone from Tunisia, trying to slow down this South Sudan offense. Omot, he's made one from that spot, in and out as South Sudan all over the rebound, but turned over. Poor pass. And here comes Tunisia. Al Mubarak for three. Buries it. Oh, that's a backbreaker for South Sudan. They come quickly the other way. Their three doesn't go. Good offensive rebound, though. And 2 shots to come here as Barr was on the offensive glass. And you see Barr, no one challenged him. Draws the contact. And 2 shots to come. Coach Baumann working that sideline. Speaking to Sada as he goes out, and back comes Ben Randan. Of course, this Afro-basket qualifiers, or sorry, African qualifiers for the FIBA World Cup, slightly different than the other regions. Teams play 3 games in 3 days, so the ability to rotate and get guys in and out to stay fresh across that competition, most important as well. South Sudan can't make either free throw, but they're going to get another chance here. Coach Deng looking on. Again, another miss, but great work on the offensive glass for Gatkuth to keep it alive. Now here he is. Takes the 3 and buries it. Maren Gatkuth knocking down the 3. Giving South Sudan the lead once again. 27 plays 24. Al Mubarak. He'd love to answer with a 3 of his own. Good defense from Omot. Gets him off the line. Now Hadidani back to Al Mubarak. He does take the 3. Looks long. Offensive rebound. Ben Ramdan, no. Can't finish. Buzzer sounds, but play continues. South Sudan have the ball. Here it is. Gatkuth. Thought about the 3. Will take it. Back-to-back 3s from Gatkuth. Timeout called by...
Again, people, if we don't rebound, we're not going to win this goddamn game.
Pressure up the floor as Tunisia get it into Ben Randan. Batter now. Can he get going? Holding and waiting. A lot of physical play under the basket. It's going to be a double foul. Everybody looking around. Nobody's sure. Oh, and there's a double foul. Oh. So a double foul called against Gatkuth, and Ben Randan means he'll stay with Tunisia because they had the possession. Here is Ben Randan. Abada had some room. We'll try and operate off the pick and roll. Good ball movement from Tunisia. They'll get a look for 3. Doesn't go. First man to it is Gatkuth. It's been everywhere for South Sudan these last couple of minutes. It's now Wang holds, waits, gets them organised. He uses the ball screen. Oh, loses his man. Wang glides in the reverse, just off the front of the ring. Tunisia the other way. Al Mubarak looking around. Tries to attack against Omot. Great defense from Nuni Omot, though. No opening whatsoever for Tunisia here. Good defense from South Sudan, but look at the quality of Abada off the screen. Snakes back to his left hand. And gets the finish over the long arms of Gatkuth. Here it is. Gatkuth holding the ball. Uses the screen. Gives it to Omot. Omot isolated against Ben Randan. That's a tough matchup to stop. Nuni Omot bullies his way to the ring for 2 more. Well, every time they need something, that's the play they go to. It's the one they opened the game with. Just clear it out. Let Nuni Omot go off the dribble. He's now reached double figures. He'll have a chance for a bonus as we see the good finish from Abada there. Substitutions coming in for South Sudan. Out goes Wang. He had a good spell. Nice. Did Mathiang Mao, who went out. Kwani and Jock back in for South Sudan. They missed the free throw. Bad up. Penetration, but it's going to be a turnover. Kwani, quick hands. Comes up with it. Now he'll start the break. Watch out! Easy finish for South Sudan. It is Deng Akuth firing up this South Sudan team. He gets next to you. It is you that needs to do the work. Coach Deng must be happy on that sideline. South Sudan up 8 on the Afro-Basket champions. Open 3, El Mabruk can't get it to go. And it's going to be South Sudan ball. Well, they got a good look, Tunisia, but that's been their undoing, really. And they're not going to get more open than that. A guy that we know can be a good shooter for them. El Mabruk was 2 for 4 yesterday. Already made 1 today. And that one does not go. And it is now South Sudan possession once again. Akuth thought about the 3. Kwani will take it. He's been quiet. Kwani, 18 points yesterday. Hasn't really been needed by South Sudan as Abada gives it to Ben Ramdan. This pair surely got to be the 2 that take over for Tunisia. Nufi finds Ben Ramdan. He moves it on. Another 3. In and out. And the rebound goes to Jock. Akuth in no hurry. South Sudan call out the play. Baseline runner, Omot is guarded. And then the steal from Ben Ramdan. This is what they need. 2-on-1. Easy pass. And Ben Ramdan gets the finish. Make sure everybody knows it. Good pass from Abada. And Ben Ramdan reminds everybody he's still got some gas left in that tank. The 3 in response for South Sudan doesn't go. But a foul is called. Is that on the shot or the rebound? Goes out. Timeout is called. Still this 6-point lead for South. Omot. It's 3 for 3. It's a 9-point lead. Oh, lovely little cut, and Ben Ramdan again goes upstairs. Can they execute here? Baseline cut. There's Kwani flashing high. Now they'll switch into man-to-man defense, the Tunisians. So they take away the threat nicely there. Omot can't get the finish. And a good tip from Deng Akuth, but it doesn't go. Abada pulls up. Long 2. Doesn't go. There's only going to be 1 winner on that rebound. There's 4 South Sudanese players around the ball. So now, move it on. The lob, watch out. Wide open over the top. Omot gets it. Good feed. And that is the play. The coach Deng drew up. Kansas, as he called it. Jock up high. Nevada to Ben Ramdan. Fakes. Puts it on the deck. Ben Ramdan, I think it was blocked by Akuth. Here comes South Sudan pushing. all the way from Jock. Now he'll kick it. McCoy gets to the inside. He wanted the foul. He doesn't get it. Oh, he does. A late call. And it will be 2 shots for Jackson McCoy. There is the lob. Omot up high. Tunisian eyes all facing the board. They didn't see the screen on the weak-hand side of the floor. And now a chance to make it a double-digit game for South Sudan. Under 2 minutes left in this first half. First, nothing but the bottom of the net. It is a 10-point game, the largest lead for South Sudan here. In and out. And Tunisia grabbing the rebound. Abada using that high screen. Gets it to Ben Ramadan. He's starting to increase his influence here. Ben Ramadan gets that one to go. Just 6 points personal for him. 6 of 32. So now McCoy using the screen. It's that same play. Going to try and isolate Omot. Instead, McCoy goes on his own. Not sure that's the right option. Tunisia get it back. Here comes El Mubarak. Sells the fake. Ramadan steps into a 3. Looks good. And it is good. 5 in a row for Makram Ben Ramadan. Little fist pump for him. He's pulled his team back within 5 here. 1 minute left. Jock uses a screen. Now Kwani. Everyone looking around for South Sudan. There's only 6 on the clock. Kwani's going to have to make a play. Loose pass, deflected. And Tunisia on a 5-0 run have possession here. 42 seconds left. And timeout called. On a substitution, excuse me. Everyone was going to the bench, but no, just a couple of subs. There's Ben Ramadan. In a hurry, he's moved to 9 points. Here he is once more. Tough matchup, like we said, for Akuth. And now, big pass out along the baseline. It's lost by Tunisia. McCoy picks it up. Beats one. Nice little pass. Akuth tries to dunk it. Doesn't get it to go. Chance for South Sudan to hold for basically the final shot here. There is a slight difference between the clocks. 5 on the shot clock. Omot gets to his right hand, flips it up, is fouled. Team fouls means there'll be 2 to come for Nuni Omot. Chance for him to add to his personal tally of 15 points in this first half. He's a pretty good free throw shooter throughout his career, Nuni Omot. I give him the commentator's curse there. Shot 80% in Poland last season, 77% from the line this year in Germany. He's just 1 of 2 here. Substitutions come. So Tunisia trying to organise themselves. They trail by 6. They would love one final score here in this last 2 seconds. Bring it in, try to go long. Ben Ramadan, 1 dribble, launches from the halfway line. Oh, it wasn't too far away. And he couldn't get that one to go. Ben Ramadan has got his team back into the game here, though. But for Tunisia, a couple of changes for them. Ben Ramadan in the starting lineup again, alongside Abada, Shanufi. But Hadidani and El Mubarak out there as starters for this second half. Akuth fouled. So end-line possession for South Sudan. Akuth wanted that call for a while. Said that Hadidani has his arm wrapped up, which he does. Good work from the official. Sideline possession now. Kwani brings it in, gets it to Akuth. Now here is Kwani. Jock trying to come off the screen. Jock, the sharpshooter, doesn't get that one to go. Ben Rondon with the rebound. Here comes El Mubarak. There's their 5 that we mentioned on the floor to start this second half. Good defense from Jock away from the ball. Stops Sunufi from getting it. Now Ben Rondon in the low post, double teamed and a cheap foul. Kwani there. The South Sudanese player grew up in Australia, as a number of these South Sudanese did. Now playing for the first time in Europe, as he's headed to Croatia this season, having a fine year. And Haridani gives it up to Abada. Abada back to Haridani, but the pass goes out of bounds. Not sure what happened there. Couldn't take it in clearly. Possession back for South Sudan. Okoye at the point. Another man who's come to Europe for the first time this year. Also playing in Croatia. Okoye gets deep, finds Omot, and he gets the finish. Great point guard play. Omot spacing was on point as he just held that baseline and waited for his man to help. It's an easy finish. Foul is going to be called against Kwani. There you see, good play into the lane from Okoye. Finds Omot, just waiting. Easy finish for him as he moves to 18 points. Ben Rondon back to Abada. Abada gets his man on his back. Tough pass, trying to find Rondon. Yeah, you can see, he says to a point guard, you've got to shoot it. There's too many bodies in that tight area for a pass to get through. You see all the hands and the people. Good work from Akuth. That long wingspan of his to just get a hand on the pass. And now Okoye moves it on. Open 3 for Kwani. He knocks it down. Kwani has had a quiet game, but with that moves to 5. Now an 11-point lead for South Sudan. Now Mubarak to Ben Rondon. Ben Rondon along the baseline. Loses it. Here comes Okoye. You've got numbers, South Sudan. Someone's going to be open. Kwani with a quick pass. The defense recovers well, though. Now South Sudan not in a hurry. Okoye behind his back. Omot for 3. Doesn't go. Out of bounds in favour of Tunisia. Coach Bauman working that sideline. Challenging time for him. Challenging time for the reigning Afro-Basket champions in Tunisia. Trailing by 11 here. Ben Rondon gets all the way in and scores. That is why he is the MVP. From Ben Rondon. Moves himself to 13 points, or 11 points personal now. Turnover. Gives it back to Tunisia. Abada has Ben Rondon down the floor. Goes cross-court instead. Now back to Abada. Pass to Haridani, attacks the ring and lays it up. So Tunisia, a response of their own. Cut it back once again. Try and find the roller around that foul line. Watch out for the cuts along the baseline. It is Okoye with the ball. Now Kwani off the screen. Good defense from Tunisia. Kwani's picked the ball up. He's going to turn it over. Tunisia turning up the heat on defense. Getting themselves back into the game as Abada moves it on. Watch out. Clean look. Bottom of the net for Zayed Shanufi. He knocks down a 3. Made one early in the game. And Tunisia within 4. Dangerous time for South Sudan. McCoy gets deep, finds Omar. Omar has it rejected. Shanufi's come to play here. Gets the block on that end of the floor now. Tunisia in no hurry. South Sudan have called an early timeout and need a response here on the defensive end. Brook holding and waiting. A lot of contact from Kwani, and it works as Akuth gets the rebound, gets the steal, but throws it out of bounds. And that's exactly what Coach Deng was talking about there. He said, guys, we are leading. This is brother Adjo Deng, also formerly head coach of this South Sudan team, looks on frustrated. It's his team to play with poise, having the lead. We haven't done that these last couple of minutes. Ramadan puts it on the floor, takes the contact. Doesn't get the touch, though. And now South Sudan can organise. They've got to get it over the half here. Oh, he just manages to do that in time. Shot. No space for him. As to Magoy, dances in. What a finish from the young point guard there. Much needed basket for South Sudan. 5 and 4 for Jackson McCoy. Kick out 3. Shanufi makes another one. Second 3 of this third quarter for him. Now, the third quarter important for both these teams yesterday. That was the time South Sudan opened up a lead against Rwanda. And that was the time for Tunisia. They really started to struggle. Foul here. It's going to be called defensive, I think, against Brook. Sideline possession for South Sudan. Just managed to get it in to Akuth now. 3. It's good. Confident stroke there. In off the bench. Without hesitation, Akuth makes his third 3. Really sucked in on that possession. Now the penetration, Abada thought about the 3, steps to the side, finds Brook, he's the shooter. Can't get it though, and a foul is going to be called. That's going to go against South Sudan on the glass. Let's see. I think just a little shove. Foul on Jock. Substitutions coming in. Brook heads to the bench for Tunisia. So there's his replacement. Coming in. Abada with the finish. So it's Arnaoui came in the number 1 for Tunisia. Abada with the score. Moves himself to double digits, and now an offensive foul. Akuth commits it. See these key players for Tunisia stepping up. Abada in a good position. Clear offensive foul, but it's been Ramadan, it's been Abada, it's been Shanufi. Those 3 that have led this charge for Tunisia to stay within touching distance now. Still a 2-possession game. Ramadan. Abada takes a rare 3 and makes it. Abada makes it a 1-point game. Back-to-back scores from him. Tries again to draw the offensive foul. And now Ben Ramadan takes it away. Kwani just manages to pick it up. We're asking about the shot clock. It got reset to 24. Play continues. Tunisian bench still not happy. Into the low post, Abada tries to take it away from Akuth, and foul is eventually called. Arnaoui looks like he's the man that committed it. You see Abada trying to take it away. Sideline possession for South Sudan. Amot in the corner. Doesn't really have a lot of options. He's going to have to clear out, go one-on-one. Moves to Kwani. Shot clock to 5. Kwani's going to have to go quickly. Manages to find a little bit of space. Can't get the finish, but great work on the offensive glass. The tip home. Is it a Kuth or was it Amot? They were both there, both challenging. Let's have a look. There's Kwani. Takes so much attention. I think it's Amot that got the score. In the end, either way, it's a 3-point game. South Sudan have the advantage. Adidani's come back in for Tunisia. Bada. Sit back. Now he'll use this high screen. It's the rolling Adidani. Step through from him. Another miss. And Amot on the glass. There's Kwani. He sees a little opening. Kwani gets to the ring and finishes it. Well, same opportunity really, both ends of the floor. Adidani couldn't take it against traffic. Kwani did. South Sudan open up a 5-point advantage once more. Bada find an opening. It's Ben Ramdan they want under the basket. So slow though. Bada's looking around. He's campaigning to his team. Sideline possession for Tunisia, trailing by 5. Their 14-game win streak in African basketball is under threat here. Nice screen. Bada comes back the other way. Long 3 from Manawi. Misses everything. He had to force it up. There's the shot clock winding down. We've seen Manawi do some instant offense for his team. Games gone past, especially in Croatia at the FIBA Olympic qualifying event. Hasn't got going here tonight. He's now 0 of 5. 3 from South Sudan is good. Wang, well, he's been full of highlights when he's come on. Limited minutes, but he's made that high-flying and 1 dunk, and now he adds a 3 at a crucial moment as well. Abada off the screen. He'll pull up for a response. Doesn't go. Akuth couldn't take in the rebound. Ben Ramdan sets his feet. Another miss, and this time South Sudan grabbing the rebound. And another make. Akuth, his 4th 3 of the night. 4 of 4. Akuth, South Sudan fired up. Out of nothing really from Akuth. Sits on the watches, see if his team can execute here. They get the open 3, but he doesn't go. Well, now he couldn't get the shot to fall. As now the crossover, the layup doesn't go. Offensive rebound also wasn't put back. 2 good opportunities for South Sudan there. First from Wang, then from Bar. There's now Abada off the high screen. His pass is wayward, trying to find Ben Ramdan. Need to work hard to keep it alive. Look at the scrambling defense from South Sudan. Working hard, shot clock getting low for Tunisia. They missed the 3. And then the ball bounces out over the top of the backboard. And goes back to South Sudan. Bada imploring his team on the offensive end. Keep getting close, but South Sudan always seem to have a response here. Wang holding, waiting, in no hurry. eating up these precious seconds at the end of the third quarter. Draws two players. Wang pass goes out of bounds and goes back to Tunisia. Shot clock is off. Tunisia can hold for the final score here. Nevada controlling and waiting. Screen. Now Nevada has it back. Uses the pick from Ben Rondon. He's open at the top. Nice drive. Ben Rondon tip from behind. A foul is called. South Sudan got to be careful not to get a technical foul here. I mean, it did look like a clean strip, didn't it? There will be two shots for Ben Rondon. First one gets the roll. Second doesn't go. The offensive rebound and putback is good for Tunisia. A big finish there for the Tunisian team. And what an important 14-game win streak of Tunisia. Arguably the biggest victory in South Sudanese basketball history. There'll be a lot of people back in South Sudan watching this one. Such passionate support for their national basketball team. They will very much enjoy this game here today if they can get victory. Nufi sells the fake, gets to the inside. Is it rejected by Barr? Fight for the loose ball, and it's Barr once more. Shot clock winding down. What a defensive possession for South Sudan, and what a possession for that man right there. Great defense from Barr. First block, there's the second. Protecting the ring for his team. Causes the 24-second violation. And now, all about managing the game. Time and score for South Sudan now. As they go cross-court to Wang. Wang loses it. I think it was tipped by Ben Rondon. Now they've got to be in a hurry to try and get a high-quality look. Just 4.9 on the clock. And brought in from the side. Pull up three. First miss of the game from Gekuth. Rebound wasn't quite saved by Wang, and it is possession back to Tunisia. Used time, which was important for South Sudan, but they need to get a high-quality shot at the end of it. Ben Rondon. A quiet second half, really. 12 points for him. Mabruk uses Rondon's screen. Now, again, so often they've tried to pass him the ball. South Sudanese defense has managed to tip it away. Put back, doesn't go. It's going to be out off South Sudan, stays with Tunisia. Foul is called. And it's going to go against Tunisia. Offensive foul. Let's have another look at this one. And there's the illegal screen. And now he committed the personal foul. And Shnufi looking on. They're the plays you just can't have if you're Tunisia. Trying to fight a way back into this one. Trying to come from behind. Every possession counts. Gekuth puts it up to Bilal. Now they'll move it on to Wang. Now the shot clock to 10. They need to be aggressive, try and get a good clean look. They do exactly that. Allowed, can't hit the three. Nobody scored yet in this fourth quarter. 5 for 5 coming for South Sudan. They might get a breakaway first of all. As Ben Ramdan, though, denies them with the chase down block. Ben Ramdan doesn't give it up. Good hands from him. As Gakuth couldn't get the finish. It will stay with South Sudan, though. Whole new team in as the dunk from Amot on the out-of-bounds play. That is a much-needed score for South Sudan to kick them off in this fourth quarter. Tunisia searching for their first points. Al-Mabruk runs into a wall. No call. South Sudan come away with it. We've got numbers down the floor. There's McCoy under control. Gets deep in the lane. Can't finish. Now it's Tunisia's chance. Al-Mabruk to Shanufi. He sells the fake. Abada thought about the three. Gets to the inside. Look at this swarming defense. South Sudan taking away every opportunity. And then a personal foul against Qualifiers. I think South Sudan will mind that one, though. First personal foul. More time will be coming off the clock as we see Omot with the dunk. Ben Ramdan just got caught, didn't he? Out of position there. Rare mistake for him. Here he is now, the other end of the floor. Kick out. Shanufi steps to the side. And Akuth grabs in the rebound. Really growing as a player. Deng Akuth as Amot has a rejected. Tunisia have a 5-on-4 advantage. Kwani commits the personal foul. Heady play from Kwani. Amot go to the bench. It will be 2 shots to come for Al-Mabruk when we 15 his team. Numbers coming up as Al-Mabruk brings it in. Gets it high. Ben Ramdan sets the screen. Big pop, puts it on the floor. Ben Ramdan can't get the finish. Good challenge from Akuth. Now South Sudan got to find this balance of being aggressive and trying to use up time. Need high percentage shots every time. McCoy gets into the lane and he is fouled. Second foul against Tunisia. Brown doesn't like the call. McCoy has it. Goes high, great feed and an easy finish for Akuth. Great point guard play. That's the type of possessions that they need South Sudan to see this game out. Al-Mabruk gets deep and lays it off for the easy finish. Tada gets it to go. South Sudan wanted the charge. It was too deep inside that charge circle for the referee to call it. High ball screen again. Akuth screening from McCoy. Finish, 5 for the rebound. Ben Ramdan gets it. It's an 8-point game. Lots of time left. Still to play in this one. Al-Mabruk draws the switch, finds Abada. Abada back to Al-Mabruk. His pass is a poor pass. Trying to find Shanufi. The look from Coach Baumann. Not happy. Rightly so. McCoy gets the ball run. Perhaps should have touched it earlier. It's time to come off the clock. Kwani brings it out high. Over to Omot. They'll clear for him. Play works well in the first half. Omot going one-on-one. Finds Jock. Nowhere to go. And then a turnover. 15th of the game for South Sudan. Numbers. Blocking foul. Against Kwani. Bada leaves. Who will step up for Tunisia? No Ben Ramdan either. It's going to have to be El Mabrouk. He takes the three. Doesn't go. Ball bouncing around. Eventually picked up by Kwani. That's why he's out there with the 4 fouls. Amot comes to the screen. Gets out the way for McCoy. Now Amot for 3. Doesn't go. El Mabrouk grabs in the rebound. Tunisia getting the stops they need, but they've got to find a way to get this scoreboard ticking over. Who will step up for them? To the inside, Sada trying to find some room. He's double teamed. He loses it. Omot takes it away. Good double from South Sudan. McCoy not in a hurry. Now takes the contact, gets to the basket. Foul is called. Yeah, McCoy is appealing to the officials, and rightly so. Foul called against Olonge. There'll be 2 shots for McCoy. McCoy, numbers not overly impressive. 5 points for him. He does have 6 assists though, but you know, a very mature performance from this young man. 21 years of age, playing his club basketball in Croatia alongside his South Sudanese teammate Kwani. They both play for the Osijek club. And back comes Ben Ramdan. How they need him and his experience here. A quick blow for him. Comes back into the team. His team trailing by 9. Has it now. Gives it to El Mabrouk. His kick out. Now to Ben Ramdan. He'll take the 3. Doesn't get it to go. And then South Sudan again can get it across. McCoy goes quickly, needs to finish, and he does. Well, if you're going to go early, South Sudan, you want to score. That's exactly what he did. Another big basket for that young man. South Sudan on the brink here of a famous win. Ben Ramdan trying to make some space, turns it over again. Coach Deng says slow it down, and that's exactly what they did. Omot along the baseline, takes a hit, no call. Everyone campaigning for the ball. The officials unsure, so they'll go to the possession arrow. It's given back to South Sudan. Great opportunity for them to use some more time off this clock. Get another important basket. Oh, that's off the foot of Tunisia, isn't it? So it rightfully goes back to South Sudan as a foul is called. 4th team foul against Tunisia. 3 minutes exactly left in this one. Will there be a miracle comeback for Tunisia? Will South Sudan be able to overturn that quarter-final defeat in AfroBasket 2021? McCoy off the screen, gets deep in the lane. Deng doesn't take it cleanly, perhaps got away with the travel. Shot clock winding down. Omot fades, goes high, misses everything. And it is Tunisian ball once more. It is Tunisia with possession then. One final chance perhaps. Nearly turn it over. It's El Mabrouk trying to find some room. Switching defense. Akuth does a great job challenging it. And the three from Hadidani. Well, a glimmer of life perhaps from Tunisia. Back within 8. Boy, along the baseline. Doesn't need to hurry here. It's tipped away, but will stay with South Sudan. Here is the three. South Sudan now, they get it in. McCoy sees a little lane. He's fouled. 2 shots to come. Couldn't get the roll on the finish. But a chance to add points from the free throw stripe. Yeah, good call. Just on the shoulder, wasn't it? Right at the last minute. There you see it. Good call again from our officiating crew. So at the line, Jackson McCoy, another of these South Sudanese players who grew up in Australia, played the last couple of seasons in the United States, the junior college level, and decided to take the professional route, headed to Croatia this season, where he really has matured his game. He goes 2 for 2. And this de facto point guard, without Abada on the floor. Defense is switching. El Mabruk attacks and finishes over the top of Akuth. 1:47 left. Don't like it from Tunisia. They still believe there's a chance. This 14-game win streak under threat. As Kwani backs it out. Sorry, that's Mafian Miao. With the heady play there now. Omot takes the 3. Misses everything. Didn't get the score, but they used time off the clock. Tunisia need to go quickly. They need a score here. I don't think it matters 2 or 3. Surely they've got to go through Ben Ramadan. Taking too long. Mabruk for 3. Misses everything. And Tunisia really look like they've got the heart to fight to get back into this one. As we will hit 1 minute left, McCoy just holds and waits. Finds Omot. He'll back it out as well. Now, with 5 on the clock, he gives it over to Wang. Wang. Extra pass, and Akuth will make the jump up. Deng Akuth into double digits. Oh, sorry, now 12 points for him. The lead back to 10. Surely there's too little time for Tunisia. As the driving finish is good for Ganawi. South Sudan get it over. It'll continue to go. Omot down the middle is tipped away. Points difference, remember, between these two teams may come into effect. So they want to keep playing here. South Sudan, they'll turn it over. There's 2 seconds on the clock from the halfway line. The jumper doesn't go, and there'll be 9 seconds remaining for Tunisia to finish this game. Remember, every game counts. Every point counts in qualification. Tunisia might not be able to win this one, but they may be able to get 2 points closer to South Sudan. Good defense from South Sudan. Ben Ramadan kicks it. And Tunisia will not get the score in time.